Hey, welcome back to Mike's Garage. Doing a quick one today, bleeding the brakes on this 2001 Mercedes E320 W210. I've just done a bunch of work on it, trying to get it kind of ready to go for the winter for my son. I didn't record most of it. It's fairly routine. Rear brakes, brake lines, they were rusted out. One new caliper, and then I rebuilt the rest of the calipers. Just, changed the piston and the ones that were bad, new seals, put it back together. There's a million videos on those, so nothing special on this one. I guess the only difference is maybe the back brakes, because they're small dual pistons that face each other. Let me get a shot of this. Now this video is not going to be about how to rebuild these, because there's plenty of those out there and they're fairly straightforward. But I found the rear, and I'm sure this is pretty common knowledge, there's after you take the caliper off, which is just a couple bolts, there is four fasteners that hold the two halves of the caliper together. Once you split the caliper, you have much better access to the pistons. However, before you split it, I'd recommend maybe using the brake pressure to get the pistons most of the way out, because once it's split, you can't use air pressure. At least on one side you can't. So I take that back. You probably can't do it on either side because of the way the passages go from one side of the caliper to the other. But if you get them most of the way out, just with the brake pressure itself, by pumping the brakes, you can just pull them out the rest of the way. The pair of pliers, which is what I did. And then just, seals and dust boots. And the dust boots on these were pretty easy because they seal on the outside and not the inside, so they weren't as difficult to put back together. Anyways, back to the purpose of this video, which is to bleed the brakes. I've already got it connected. This is the Motive Black Label European fitting kit that I bought. That red cap you see is aluminum instead of plastic in this kit, and right, I don't really make it out, but that's the cap. Can screw on without the hose moving, because it's got a swivel in there. That was one of the main reasons I got this. It made it a lot easier. Here's something else I did. The fittings that came with it were same fittings as an airline, so I put a quick disconnect in there. Just found it easier to, if nothing else, just moving the tool around without everything connected. And if I ever get additional fittings for different cars, it'll make it easier to change them out as well. Anyways, I did a regular brake bleed on this after changing the brake lines, calipers. So all, said 3 out of 4 calipers were rebuilt. One was replaced. It was just beyond rebuilding, and I couldn't get a piston for the front right. No one had them in stock, so I just bought a rebuilt caliper instead. The front left, or the driver's side, the piston was fine. It was not seized. The passenger side was seized, so that's what started the whole thing. But going back to the purpose of why I'm posting this video when there's dozens of them out there, apparently in order to bleed the ABS, this tool needs to be cranked up to 2 bar. Motive does say the instructions don't go past 20 psi unless instructed to do so. And according to the user manual, or the shop manual for this car, it does say to go to 2 bar, which is 29 psi. So I'm going to finish pumping this up. Here we go, so I can zoom in a bit. There we go, so that's 29 psi. And here's the, I've already done the back too. This part of it is nothing special. Just got my little magnetic can on here that I got off Amazon a while ago. So crack this open. The fluid comes out of here at a pretty good rate under this much pressure. I'm just going to bleed, I don't know, maybe a couple shot glasses worth. No bubbles, so. Now after doing one corner, let's see what our pressure's at. So it drops it a fair bit. Now in the case of this particular vehicle with the shop manual specifying 2 bar pressure, I'm going to pump it back up to 29 psi for each corner and then take it for a ride from there. But again, the main reason I was doing this was after replacing the lines and the calipers and having everything opened up, I just had the pedal just didn't feel right to me. It was a little too squishy, and I could not find any kind of ABS bleed procedure other than a pressure bleeder set to 2 bar. Okay, so I'm going to reset this back to 29 psi for the last corner. I am doing them in order from farthest to nearest. Honestly, I don't know if that's still valid anymore with the 4-wheel ABS and 4 different home runs from the hydraulic module, but that's what the procedure calls for, so that's the way I've done it. So rear right, rear left, front right, and then front left is the order I'm doing this in. And again, I will reset this back to 29 psi each time I go to one of the calipers to bleed it. And that's it. Thanks for watching.